Hi friends, good morning. Next video from Dhruva Entertainment and Vidu classes. That is what friends? Describe about the Graafian follicle of woman. Friends, Graafian follicle of human beings. See friends, this is the structure of Graafian follicle. Friends, you have one more question, that is draw the diagram of Graafian follicle. First you see the image or diagram friends. First you see it friends. See this this pinkish one which is present in the middle. This is called as what friends? Oocyte. This one friends, oocyte. This oocyte is surrounded by whom friends? See, corona radiata. The empty place is called as atrium or antrum. Next, cumulus oophorus, loose connective tissue, theca externa, granulosa cells, basal lamina. First you see this diagram friends. See, this is theca externa, outer layer of the Graafian follicle is theca externa friends. Next, some cells are there, granulosa cells. Here you remember the words friends. Forget about their meaning and their structure etc. Theca externa, granulosa cells, basal lamina, antrum, A-N-T-R-U-M friends, antrum. This is antrum friends, antrum. Next, corona radiata. Here you have to remember one more word friends, zona pellucida, zona pellucida. Next, cumulus oophorus, cumulus oophorus. Next, this one friends, this is primary oocyte. In the another diagram or another image you have to see friends. See friends, here you see once again friends. See, the first one is what friends? Theca externa. Second one is theca interna. Third one is what friends? Follicular cells. Fourth one, this is antrum. Fifth one, corona radiata. Sixth one, zona pellucida. Seventh one, primary oocyte. Eighth one, cumulus oophorus. You have to by heart these names friends. Okay. Now come to our answer friends. You have to draw this diagram. You have a separate question friends. We have a 4 marks question. Draw the diagram of Graafian follicle. Okay. Now come to our answer friends. Yes friends. Describe the Graafian follicle in women. Friends. See, Graafian follicles are present in the ovaries of women or ovaries of males. Friends, Graafian follicles are present in the ovaries. You know the structure of ovary friends. Ovary has outer cortex and inner medulla. This cortex has various developmental stages of follicles. Primary follicles, secondary follicles, tertiary follicles, etc. These tertiary follicles are called as what friends? Graafian follicles. Okay. So, Graafian follicles are present in the ovaries of males, ovaries of women. Next friends, these are present in the cortex of the ovary. Just now I told friends, ovary has 2 parts, inner medulla, outer cortex. So Graafian follicles are present in the cortex of the ovary, outer part of the ovary, not inside, not inner medulla. They are present in the cortex of the ovary. Yes, what are Graafian follicles friends? These are mature ovarian follicles. Friends, ovarian follicles are primary, secondary and tertiary. The matured ovarian follicles are called as Graafian follicles. Once again friends, they are also called as tertiary follicles. Primary follicles, secondary follicles, tertiary follicles friends. The tertiary follicles are matured follicles. Those matured follicles are called as Graafian follicles. So whenever you hear the word Graafian follicles, it is equivalent to the matured follicles. It is equivalent to the tertiary follicles. But primary and secondary follicles are not Graafian follicles friends. They are immature follicles. You have to remember it friends. Okay. Now see friends. These are well developed fluid filled cavities. So how can we define it? Graafian follicles are well developed fluid filled cavities. One Graafian follicle has one ovum or one egg or one secondary site. Synonymous friends. Secondary oocyte is equivalent to the egg. It is equivalent to the ovum. So one Graafian follicle has one ovum or one egg or one secondary oocyte. Friends, one secondary oocyte. Primary oocyte is not ovum, friends, it is immature stage. This primary oocyte modified into secondary oocyte, that is called the actual ovum or haploid female gamete, that is called as egg. So one Graafian follicle has one ovum, or you may say one egg, or you may say one secondary oocyte. Okay, friends. During ovulation, it ruptures and releases ovum. So during ovulation, what happens, friends? This Graafian follicle ruptures and releases ovum into the coelom or body cavity. That is called ovulation, friends. Releasing of egg, releasing of ovum, releasing of secondary oocyte from ovary into the body cavity is called as what, friends? Ovulation. So here, who is releasing? Graafian follicles. Where are those Graafian follicles? They are present in the ovaries. What are they? They are the mature or tertiary follicles. Okay, friends. During ovulation, it means what, friends? Graafian follicles ruptures and release ovum. Okay, friends. That's called ovulation. See, friends, here one MSET and NEET question, friends. Immature follicles present in the ovary are primary follicles and secondary follicles. Friends, whenever you hear the word primary follicles, whenever you hear the word secondary follicles, they are not mature follicles. They are immature follicles. But tertiary follicles are the mature follicles. They are called as Graafian follicles. Okay, friends. Okay. Now, come to parts of the Graafian follicle, friends. Parts of the Graafian follicle. Graafian follicle has the following parts, friends. Graafian follicle has the following parts. What are they? We'll see, friends. What are they, friends? Number one, oocyte. It is secondary oocyte, friends. Oocyte. That is secondary oocyte. It is not primary, it is secondary oocyte. Number two, zona pellucida. It is a layer of the ovum, friends. It is not layer of the Graafian follicle. Inside the Graafian follicle, we have ovum, that is secondary oocyte. So, zona pellucida. Third one, friends, corona radiata. Corona radiata. Number four, granulosa cells or membrane granulosa. Granulosa cells or membrane granulosa. Fifth one, cumulus oophorus. Cumulus oophorus. Sixth one, antrum. 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 Seventh one, theca. Outer layer, friends. External theca and internal theca. Once again, friends, what are the parts of the Graafian follicle? Friends, oocyte, zona pellucida, corona radiata. Friends, corona radiata. Next, granulosa cells or membranous granulosa. Next, friends, cumulus oophorus. Cumulus oophorus. Antrum. Antrum and theca. Now we'll take one by one, friends. Now we'll take one by one. Yes, friends. First one, oocyte or secondary oocyte, friends. You have to say secondary oocyte. Graafian follicle has secondary oocyte. One Graafian follicle has one secondary oocyte, friends. It is haploid in condition. Means it has X number of chromosomes. For example, you take human beings, it has only 23 chromosomes. So, Graafian follicle has secondary oocyte. One Graafian follicle has one secondary oocyte. It is haploid in condition. See, friends, this is for NEET and MSET. Primary oocytes undergo meiotic division and form secondary oocytes. Friends, primary oocytes are diploid in condition. Remember it, friends, this is MSET and NEET. Primary oocytes are diploid in condition or 2N stage or 2X stage. They have 46 chromosomes. These primary oocytes undergo meiotic division and they form haploid secondary oocytes. These secondary oocytes are nothing but what, friends? Ova. They are nothing but female gametes. They are nothing but X. So secondary oocytes have haploid number of chromosomes, whereas primary oocytes have diploid number of chromosomes. So in which oocyte meiotic division takes place? In the primary oocyte meiotic division takes place, friends. Okay, friends. Now The secondary oocyte is also called as ovum or female gamete cell or egg cell. Friends, secondary oocyte is also called as ovum or female gamete or egg. Next, friends, this oocyte located eccentrically in the Graafian follicle. Friends, it is located eccentrically in the Graafian follicle. What is eccentrically means? It is not in the center, friends. It is away from the center. So, secondary oocyte, see friends here this image. See friends, it is not in the center. This is present eccentrically away from the center. So, secondary oocyte is present eccentrically in the Graafian follicle. This oocyte located eccentrically in the Graafian follicle. What is eccentrically? Away from the center. Okay friends, next. Oocyte is surrounded by a non-cellular layer called zona pellucida. Friends, oocyte is surrounded by a non-cellular layer. What is that friends? Zona pellucida. It is also called as egg coat. See friends, egg coat. It is the layer of the oocyte. Friends, it is the layer of the oocyte. It is not layer of the Graafian follicle. So, oocyte is surrounded by a non-cellular layer. That is called as zona pellucida or egg coat. It is the layer of the oocyte. Next friends, this zona pellucida is present between oocyte and corona radiata, friends. It is present between oocyte and corona radiata. See friends, here I have given sequence of the layers from inside to outside. This is for neat and MCET friends. Inside, internal we have oocyte. Above the oocyte we have zona pellucida. Above the zona pellucida we have corona radiata. Above the corona radiata we have zona granulosa. Above it we have theca. So oocyte, zona pellucida, corona radiata and zona granulosa. Now see friends, this layer is what friends? It is a glycoprotein layer. Friends, what is this? This zona pellucida is a glycoprotein layer. It is a non-cellular layer. Chemically it has glycoprotein layer. Glycoproteins. Okay friends. Now come to the second one friends. What is that friends? Second layer is what friends? Corona radiata. Innermost layer of the Graafian follicle. See friends. This is innermost layer of the Graafian follicle. Zona pellucida is the layer of the oocyte. So we are not considering it friends. So if you consider the Graafian follicle, what is the innermost layer of the Graafian follicle? Corona radiata is the innermost layer of the Graafian follicle. See friends, it is attached to the zona pellucida. It is present above the zona pellucida. It is attached to the zona pellucida. Next one. It is present outside the zona pellucida and inner to the zona granulosa. See friends, this is corona radiata. Present outside the zona pellucida, inside to the zona granulosa. Okay friends, that is about what friends? That is about the corona radiata. Corona radiata. Next friends, come to the granulosa cells friends. The third one, it is also called as membrane granulosa. Granulosa cells. This layer is also called as what friends? Membrane granulosa. Corona radiata is surrounded by membrane granulosa. See friends, corona radiata is surrounded by whom friends? Zona granulosa or membrane granulosa or granulosa cells. Next friends, fourth point, fourth one. What is that friends? Cumulus oophorus friends. Cumulus oophorus. It is also called discus proligerus friends. Cumulus oophorus is also called discus proligerus. Discus proligerus. These are cluster of granulosa cells friends. Cumulus oophorus is nothing but granulosa cells, but they are in clusters. The cluster of granulosa cells are called as what friends? Discus proligerus or cumulus oophorus. They are present between corona radiata and follicular antrum. See friends, they are present between corona radiata and antrum. Okay friends, that is about the cumulus oophorus. Next come to the antrum friends. What is antrum? It is a cavity. Presence of this cavity is an important character of Graafian follicle. Friends, this is a neat question. How can you identify a Graafian follicle under the microscope? A Graafian follicle has antrum or a cavity. Presence of cavity or presence of antrum is an important character of Graafian follicle of the human beings. Okay friends. It appears within granulosa cells or it appears outside the oocyte. Okay, that is about the antrum, friends. Now come to theca, friends. Graafian follicle is surrounded by a connective tissue layer called theca. See friends, connective tissue layer which is present around the Graafian follicle is called as what, friends? Theca. This theca contains two layers, friends. Outer one is called as theca externa, inner one is called as theca interna. Theca is a connective tissue layer. It surrounds the Graafian follicle. It has two parts, theca externa and theca interna. Theca interna secretes, friends, very, very important, a hormone that is estrogen. Estrogen is secreted by theca interna. What is theca interna, friends? It is a layer of the what? It is a layer of the Graafian follicles. It is a part of the Graafian follicles. So theca interna secretes a hormone that is estrogen. At the time of ovulation, the Graafian follicle ruptures and releases ovum or secondary oocyte in the body. You know it, what is ovulation. So at the time of ovulation, the Graafian follicle ruptures and secrete ovum into the, release ovum into the body cavity. That is called what, friends? Ovulation. So here you remember estrogen is secreted by whom, friends? Theca interna. Now once again you see the image, friends. Now you got an idea. See friends, theca externa, theca interna. Okay friends. Now these are follicular cells or next antrum, corona radiata, zona pellucida, ovum and cumulus oophorus. Okay friends. Now once again see one more image, friends. See, this is oocyte, antrum empty place, friends, zona pellucida, zona granulosa and theca interna and theca externa. But you have to concentrate on this diagram, friends, this image. You have to practice this image. You have one more 4 marks question. Here in this video covers 2 questions, friends. One is write about the Graafian follicles and draw the image of the Graafian follicle. That is one more 4 marks question you have, friends. Okay friends, this is about the structure of Graafian follicle. Describe about the Graafian follicle of human beings. Thank you friends, good day.